जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Sunday. It is 4th of December. It is Magha Masa or Madhava Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Padrimiti or Pratipat. So there is no other events apart from the month beginning. It's the Madhava Mas. Okay, so for today, so we shall enter into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma is offering his prayers so that for his creative power, for his creative power. Yesterday's prayer was Nabhradiha Satombasi Yasya Pumso Vijnana Sekti Rahmasa Mananta Sektehe Rupam Vichitra Midamasi Vivrinvatomi Mari Rishista Nigamasi Giram Visargaha. So when he is creating this secondary universe, he doesn't want to be deviated from the Vedic injunctions. And also addressing the Lord, and his form is the Vichitram, Idam, Vichitram, so wonderful. And he has appearing again from the navel of that lotus flower coming from the navel, where there is a lake as well in the navel. Nabi Hrada. Nabi Hrada Diha Satombasi Yasya Pumso Vijnana Sekti Rahmasa Mananta Sektehe रूपम विचित्रम इदमस्य विवृण्वतो में माहे रेसिस्ट निगमस्य गिराम विसर्गः निगमस्य वैदिक इंजंक्शंस गिराम विसर्गः and so for that purpose he is offering his praise to the Lord to get the mercy of the Lord. Okay, so today is the last shloka of Brahma's prayer. He is again asking the Lord, requesting the Lord in his prayers that, oh my dear Lord, so who are the oldest personality, and it is the time for you to wake up, and your end of your uh, sleep yoga nidra is coming to end. So please kindly open your eyes, your lotus like eyes, and then uh, give me benediction so that I can continue this secondary creation. Okay, and then by your mercy, all this entire cosmic creation will be uplifted again, and then it will remove that
Brahma,
dejection.
I check in with him.
So, likewise, Brahma is offering his prayers.
Check in with him.
Okay, so that is again, this is the last shloka, and one more thing is devotees who have been following this one from the beginning, reciting these shlokas, all the 1 to 25. So it is like a Lord says in the letter that whoever is reciting these shlokas every day, their desires will be fulfilled by the Lord. So you may ask the desires which is conducive to the devotional service. Okay, so and also so that you can carry out your duty perfectly, either education or family or anything else, so that you carry out those things while executing the devotional service. Okay, that in that way, you can also request the benedictions from Lord. Okay, likewise, Lord only says. Okay, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the last shloka of the prayer. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 9 and verse number 25. सोऽसावदभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेमस्मितेन नैनाम्बुरहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादं माव्यागिरापन यतात्पुरुषः पुराणः. So sa asau, sa the personality of Godhead, the Lord, asau that adabhra karuna and unlimited merciful. Adabhra karuna Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, who generally he gives a causeless mercy. Adabhra karuna Bhagavan Vivruddha. Vivruddha is excessive again. Brahma is asking for excessive of mercy from the Lord. Vivruddha prema smitena and love, and by smiling smitena, prema smitena, by lovingly and smilingly. Prema smitena nainam burham. This is the lotus eyes. Nainam burham vijrumbhan by opening his eyes. Vijrumbhan. So gently, with lovingly and smilingly, open your eyes with so much of mercy, unlimited mercy on me. Oh, my dear Lord, likewise Brahma is offering his prayers. So Savadabra Karuno Bhagavan Vivruddha Premasmitena Nainam Buruham Vijrumbhan. And then after that, Uttaya Vishwa Vijayaya cha no Vishadam. Uttaya. And for flourishing Vishwa Vijayaya. Vishwa Vijayaya cha, for glorifying the cosmic creation. Cha, so as also. No Vishadam. Naha, it means our. Uttaya Vishwa Vijayaya cha, for glorifying the cosmic creation. Cha, also our dejection also needs to be counteracted. So at the moment Brahma is alone. He is now a bit dejected. So he is a bit disturbed and perplexed. What to do? No one is there to share his feelings. Vishadam. Madhya Girapanayatat Purusha Puranaha. Madhya by sweet, Gira words. Madhya Gira Madhya Gira Apanayatat. So Girapanayatat. So this is Girapana Yatat Purusha. So just what I see, I put here as splitting the words. Girapana Yatat Purusha. It will come very nicely for the pronunciation. But here, Apana Yatat. Apana Yatat. Let him kindly remove Apana Yatat. Purushaha Puranaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the oldest personality. ईश्वरः परमः कृष्णः सच्चिदानन्दविग्रहः अनादिर् आदिर्गोविन्दः anadi is the oldest or the puranah anadi purana, there are kind of a similar synonyms. Purushah puranah. So likewise Brahma is asking the Lord to open his eyes. So सावदभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेमस्मितेन नैनाम्बुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादं माभ्या गिरापन यथात्पुरुषः पुराणः. The translation: the Lord, who is the supreme and is the oldest of all, is unlimitedly merciful. I wish that he may smilingly bestow his benediction upon me by opening his lotus eyes. He can uplift the entire cosmic creation and remove our dejection by kindly speaking his directions. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request Saranya Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you called me, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The Lord is ever increasingly merciful upon the fallen souls of this material world. The whole cosmic manifestation is an chance for all to improve themselves in devotional service to the Lord, and everyone is meant for that purpose. The Lord expand himself into many personalities who are neither self expansions or separated expansions. The personalities of the individual souls are his separated expansions, whereas the self expansions are the Lord himself. The self expansions are predominators, and the separated expansions are predominated for reciprocation of transcendental bliss with the supreme form of bliss and knowledge. The liberated souls can join in this blissful reciprocation of predominator and predominated without material concocted ideas. The typical example of such a transcendental exchange between the predominator and the predominated is the Lord's Rasa Leela with the gopis. The gopis are predominated expansions of the internal potency, and therefore the Lord's participation in the Rasa Leela dance is never to be considered like the mundane relationship of man and woman. It is rather the highest perfectional stage of the exchange of feelings between the Lord and the living entities. The Lord gives the fallen souls the chance for this higher perfection of life. Lord Brahma is entrusted with the management of the complete cosmic show, and therefore he prays that the Lord bestow his blessing upon him so that he may execute its purpose. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so again, one more beautiful purport. So here Prabhupada is giving it. Lord is ever increasingly merciful. He is always Bhrutyanakumpita Diyeha Gruhita Muddehe. He is always Anukampita, always inclined to bestow benedictions upon his devotees. And also the merciful upon the fallen souls of this material world as well. He gives the opportunity that they fulfill their desires at the same time, gradually come back to Krishna consciousness. Of that is, he is increasingly merciful, unlimitedly merciful. Okay, the whole cosmic manifestation is a chance for all to improve themselves in devotional service to the Lord, and everyone is meant for that purpose. At the moment, everyone are infected with so much of desires for sense gratification. That is the only problem, no other problem. Material world is not the problem. Only problem is they have got unlawful desires. They are rooted deep in their heart. That is the only problem. So only problem is cleanse those desires. So that one, the cosmic manifestation is a chance for all to improve themselves in devotional service. First of all, that desires needs to be purified. Desires cannot be completely removed, but desires can be purified from sense gratification to the devotional service. So that is Amayo Yasha Bhotanam Jayate Yena Surata. Tadevi Amayam Dhavyam Punati Nachikitchitam. So whenever the same activities which are exhibiting through the sense gratificatory desires, whenever those activities are being engaged in the devotional service, it will become purified. Desires will become purified automatically. Okay. That is the purpose. Improve themselves in devotional service to the Lord. So, and everyone is meant for that purpose. And the Lord expands himself into many personalities who are either self-expansions or separated expansions. Again, here in this part, expansions are going in a number of ways. One is the uh, Prakasha Vigrahas. Krishna expands himself as so many Krishnas, like in the Rasalila and also in the Dwaraka, and when he expands, these are all called Prakasha Vigrahas. And Krishna expands into Vasudeva, Sankashna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Balaram, Narayana, and Karnadaka Vishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu, Kshirodaka Vishnu. These are all called Vilasa Vigrahas. These are all Vilasa Vigrahas for his opulent forms, and also they have got different features. Same personality of Godhead, but different features. But when Krishna expands he himself, as he is without changing in the features. That is called Prakasha Vigrahas. Okay, these are all Lord's expansions. And then further, the living entities, they are also part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they are separated energies, separated expansions. Individual souls are his separated expansions. And they're all called Pritiya Shakti Rishyate. And either they can choose because they are bhinna, they are the souls, but separated, they can choose to stay with the Lord or come to the material world. Apareyamita swanyam viddhime prakritim param. Viddhime param prakritim. They belong to the para prakriti also. And the Vishnu Purana also mentions Vishnu Shakti hi para prokta kshetrajna kyatra para. Avidya karma sanyaya tritiya Shakti rishyate tritiya Shakti hi. It is the marginal energy of the Lord, or the separated expansions. And these self expansions are predominators. Whenever Lord expands himself as the Prakasha Vigrahas or Vilasa Vigrahas, these are all predominators, Purusha. And everything else are to be enjoyed, Prakriti. This is Jiva Bhota Mahabaho Yedhan Dharite Jagat. So this is how we can explain, understand. For example, if we are living in a kind of a farm, in a farmhouse. So I am living there with a family, and if we will have a cats and a dogs, a chicken, and then some goats and some other animals, birds, and also cows, cattle, and bulls and horses. I can maintain all of them. It is different kinds of varieties, and everything is for my enjoyment. And so it is a variegatedness. It is I am predominating all these animals, different kinds of living entities in and around me. And that's how I will grow so many of plants. It is for my enjoyment. In the similar way, whenever Lord expansions, they come in different varieties for his enjoyment. So he is called predominator, and everyone else are predominated. So here, the self-expansions are predominators, and separated expansions are predominated for reciprocation of transcendental bliss with the supreme form of bliss and knowledge. Okay, that is the purpose. But if a cat and dog and whatever it in this home, if they wanted to enjoy separately from me, immediately what I do, I send him away from my environment. Though I love those things, but they do not want it to stay. For example, if a bird wanted to stay with me, it is having all kinds of facilities, nice, adoring, and love like that. But if it wanted to flow away, it will go. And with love, I can send it away. Likewise, living entities are now separated from the Lord. They come to this material world. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Edam Dharite Jagat. They come to this material world. So, and here, all these living entities are predominated for reciprocation of transcendental bliss with the supreme form of bliss and knowledge. The liberated souls can join this blissful reciprocation of predominator and predominated without materially concocted ideas. So, liberated souls, they're all the Atmaramas. Atmaramasya Mudiyo Nirdhandapi Urukrame Kurvantya Itkim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. They're always attracted to Krishna. Everyone are attracted to Krishna. They can join this blissful reciprocation of predominant. Voluntarily they will come. Even the Parinishtopi Naigunya Uttama Shloka Lelaya Gruhita Cheta Rajashe Akyanam Yadaditavan. Sukadeva Goswami says, even though Parinishtopi, I am Parinishti. But still, he is attracted to Krishna, and then he has taken the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, understanding Krishna's pastimes. And also here, the typical examples of such transcendental exchange between the predominated and predominated is the Lord's Rasa Leela with the gopis. Rasa Leela with the gopis. But here the gopis are predominated expansions of internal potency, and therefore the Lord's participation in the Rasa Leela dance is never to be considered like the mundane relationship of man and woman. Okay, so here Lord's this dance are living entities. When they are cooperating with the desires of the Lord, they will come into the internal potency. And they wanted to go separate, then it will become external. They will be subject to the conditions of the material nature. So here, gopis, they are always try to fulfill the desires of Krishna. But it is here Prabhupada is mentioning, it is never to be considered like the mundane relationship of man and woman. Man and woman, they come together to fulfill their desires without connecting to Krishna. Because of that, it is a mundane. It is a sense gratificatory thing. If a, if a man and woman they come with a yogic power, yogic means keeping Krishna in the center, and then by the mercy of the Lord, we wanted to beget a child for in Krishna consciousness for the desire of Krishna. Then that relationship turn into yoga. So for in the history, so many of those great sages and their prajapatis, they begotten children to fulfill the desire of their father, either Brahma or the Supreme Personality, to follow the instructions of the Lord. But otherwise, in this mundane world nowadays, the relationship is for sense gratification. So we should not understand gopis and Krishna's relationship is on that level. It is on the internal potency. So here it says, it is rather highest perfectional stage of exchange of feelings between the Lord and the living entities. The Lord gives the fallen souls the chance for his highest perfection of life. And Lord Brahma is interested with the management of those um, management of the complete cosmic show. So that is Prajavisarge Nijasasana Arhanam, because Brahma has gone through austerities and penances for so long for the purpose of creation. So he is qualified in that perspective. So here again, once whenever Krishna is departing from uh, Hastinapura to Dwaraka, at the time, the women they were describing Krishna's pastimes. Sayo bhuyo nijvirichoitam swajiyo mayam prakritim sesrukshatiim anama rupatmani rupanamani vidit samano anusasara shastrikrut. Again, those living entities, they will come with a different names, forms, and then Anama Rupatmani. Previously, they did not have any names when they are submerged in the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. As soon as the lotus flower emanated and Brahma creates so many bodies, what the living entities according to their consciousness. Anama Rupatmani Rupanamani. They will also get names and forms. Vidithamano Anusasara Shastrakrut. Anusasara Shastrakrut. Based on the Shastrakrut. Okay, so that is the Lord gives the fallen soul the chance for this highest perfection of life, and Lord Brahma is now qualified personality for this. Praja Visarge Nijisasanarhanam. And then the Lord Bhavashishat Smita Sochishha Ghira. And then he starts speaking to Lord Brahma. Priyaha Priyam Pritamanaha Kares Purshan. By touching the Lord's, by giving handshake as well, he speak to Brahma. So he is very dear. And Tvayaham Toshitaha Samyak Veda Garbhasi Srukshaya Chiram Vrutena Tapasa Dustosha Kota Yoginam. And he is pleased with Brahma because he has performed tapasya for so long. Chiram, Chiram Bhruten tapasa, Dushtoshah Kota Yoginam. Some people, they, they do not do anything, but they show off that they are doing tapasya. But in the behind, they will violate all kinds of rules of tapasya. Dustoshah Kota Yoginam. Lord will not be pleased with such kind of people. Okay, likewise, he is mentioning, Prabhupada is mentioning here, and therefore Brahma prays that the Lord bestow his blessings upon him so that he may execute its purpose. He may execute its purpose. So Lord also gives those benedictions. Varam varaya bhadram te varesham abhivanchitam Brahman shreya parishramaha pumsam maddarshanavadihi. Oh Brahma, ask me all kinds of benedictions, whatever you want. Varam varya bhadrante, and all auspiciousness unto you. Varam varya bhadrante varesham ma abhivanchitam. I am the Lord of fulfilling all your desires. I can grant all benedictions to you. Of course, after these 25 shlokas, a devotee also can ask for a benediction from the Lord. Okay, so but Brahma Shreya Parishramha Pumsam Darshanaavadihi. But what is the best benediction one can ask? Lord only is giving indication that. So best thing is one has to come and see me. Pumsam Maddarshana Avadihi, to see the Lord. Maddarshana Avadihi, in such a Manishita Anubhavoyam Mamaloka Avalokanam Yad Bhuvasutyarahasi Chakadda Paramam Tapaha. One has to come to the Lord and then engage himself in the service and exchange those feelings. So this is Manishita Anubhavoyam Mamaloka Avalokanam. Come to the Vaikuntha, come to the Goloka Vrindana for eternal, to take part in the eternal pastimes. But when you are in the material world, all Lord's Dhamas are also here. Ye yata bhuivartante puryoho bhagavataha priyaha. So many dhamas are there. Devotees can go and exchange those feelings here when they are in the material body. That's why many devotees they go to the temple and then serve the Lord. Knowing, learning, they do not know the philosophy behind, but they are the Vaikuntha Dhamas manifested on the earth. But somewhere they are attracted to serve, go and voluntarily serve there, even menial services. Okay, this is again the love will be awakened in those heart of those devotees. Okay, his blessings upon him so that he may execute his purpose. Okay, Brahma is offering his prayers like that. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Savadabhra Karuno Bhagavan Vivruddha Premasmitena Nainam Burham Vijrumbhan Uttaya Vishwa Vijayashano Vishadam Madhya Girapana Yadat Purushaha Puranaha. Okay, so can I request dear devotees kindly follow line by line wherever it is possible. So Savadabra Karuno Bhagavan Vivruddha
Sapatmudra Bhagavan Vivruddha
Premasmitena Nainam Burham Vijrumban
Premasmitena Nayanam Vijrambam
Uttaya Vishwa Vijayaya Chano Vishadam
Taya Vishwavijayachano Vishadam
Madhya Girapana Yatat Purushaha Puranaha.
Madhyagira Panayat Purushaha Puranaha
Okay, very nice. Again. So Savadabra Karuno Bhagavan Vivruddha
Adapakaruno Bhagavan Vivruddha
Premasmitena Nainam Burham Vijrumbhan
Premasmitena Nayanam Buruham Vijramban
Uttaya Vishwa Vijayaya Chano Vishadam
उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम्
माद्यागिरापन यतात् पुरुषः पुराणः
माद्यगिरापनयतात् पुरुषा पुराणः.
Okay, so here this one, Madhya Yatat Purushaha Puranaha. It will come very nice. And here, Sosava Dabrakaruno Bhagavan Vivuruddha Premasmitena Nayanam Burham Vijrumban Muttaya Vishwa Vijayaya cha no Vishadam Madhya Girapana Yatat Purushaha Puranaha. Become very beautiful. Okay. Again, once again. It is kindly. So Savadabra Karuno Bhagavan Vivruddha
प्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध
Premasmite Nainam Burham Vijrumban
प्रेमस्मितेन नयनां गुरुहं विजृम्भन्
Vuttaya Vishwa Vijayaya cho no Vishadam
उत्थाय विश्वविजया च नो विषादम्
Madhya Girapana Yatat Purushaha Puranaha.
मात्वकिरापन यतत् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Very nice. Thank you. Can I request devotees kindly take it turns to recite? Gauringi Mataji, would you like to go first?
Yes, Babuji. Asavada Parakaruna Bhagwana Vivridda Prema Smitena Nayanam Buraham Vijrambhan Uttaya Viso Vijayaya Chano Visaram Madha Girapanaya Tatpurasaha Pranaha. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, would you like to go, please?
Yes, Hare Krishna. संसारप्रकरणो भगवान् विवृता प्रेमास्मितेन नयां गुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् गिरापनयात् तत्पुरुषः पुराणः. So, Prabhu, you said Girap. How do you say Prabhu that one?
This is Madhya Girapana Yatat Purushaha Puranaha.
Madhya Girapana Yatat Purusaha Puranaha.
Yeah, I split here. After Girapana, I split there and then rest Yatat Purushaha Puranaha.
Yatat Purusaha
Would you like to
Puranaha.
go again, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhu. संसारप्रकरणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेमस्मितेन नयां गुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् माद्या गिरापनया तत्पुरुषः पुराणः.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Saranya Mataji, would you like to go?
हरे कृष्ण. सोऽश्वादाप्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेमस्मितेन नयनां बुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् माध्वा गिरापन यततात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. शोषादर्पकर्णो भगवान् विवृत प्रेमस्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विचुम्बन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय शनो विषादम् किरापन ययात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Very nice. So here when we see here the words sa asau adabhrakarana. Asau is a that. So asau adabhrakarana. But whenever reciting so sava dabhra karuno bhagavan vivruddha premasmitena nayanam buruham vijrumbhan. It come very nicely. Buruham vijrumbhan premasmiter nayanam buruham vijrumbhan Uttaya Vishwavijayaya cha no Vishadam. I'm separating this two as into two parts of the sounds. Like for every line, I'm just splitting into two. So Savadabra Karunu Bhagavan Vivruddha Premasmitena Nainam Buruham Vijrumbhan Uttaya Vishwavijayaya cha no Vishadam Madhya Girapana Yatat Purushaha Puranaha. Then the sounds will come very nicely. But there again there is a meter unto it, but specific meter to be recited. But this is what I follow, which may come nicely for me. If you are like Gauringi Mataji, Usha Mataji, they sing in a different meter, different tune. That also comes very nicely. Okay, Asha Mataji, would you like to go again?
Try going. So other prakaruno bhagavan vivruta प्रेमस्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय स नो विषादं माप्याकिरापन यदात् पुरुषः प्राणः.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Saranya Mataji, would you like to try again?
Hare Krishna. Soshvadapa, sorry, Prabhu.
Sosava.
Okay. Sosvadapatra करुणो भगवान् विवृद्धा प्रेमस्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नौ विषादं मध्वाय गिरापन यदतात् पुरुषपुराणः.
Madhya.
माध्व्या गिरापन यततात् पुरुषं पुराणः.
Yatat Purushaha Puranaha.
मात्या गिरापन यततात् पुरुषं पुराणः.
Yatat.
मात्वा गिरापन यततात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Yatat.
यतात् ओके मात्वा गिरापन यततात् isn't it?
Yatat.
यतात् ओके मात्वा गिरापन यतात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Beautiful. Very nice. And this one, in a single sound, Sosava.
Okay.
Sosava, but actually it is so asau adabhrakaruna. That is actually splitting the meanings. But when we are reciting so savadabhrakaruno in a soft manner, so savadabhrakaruno, it will go softly. Would you like to try Mataji again?
सोऽसावतभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृता प्रेमस्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादं माध्वाय गिरापनयतात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Yes, beautiful. So this is Madhya Girapana.
Okay,
Madhya.
Matya. Oh, that V is not sounding, Prabhu.
Madhya. Vya.
Madhya. Okay, Madhya.
Yes.
Madhya गिरापनयतात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Yes, very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Gauringi Mataji, would you like to go?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Susabada, sorry, Susabhadapra Karuno Bhagwan Vibridda Prema Smitina Nayam Buruham Brijambhan Uttaya Visu Vijayaya Chano Visadam Madhya Girapanyatat Purusaha Puranaha.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji.
You ask me, Prabhu, yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. सुसावदत्र करुणो भगवान् विवृता प्रेमस्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादं माध्यागिरापनुयतात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you, Mataji. Would you like to read the translation as well, Mataji?
Yes, Hare Krishna. The Lord, who is supreme and is the oldest of all, is unlimitedly merciful. I wish that He may smilingly bestow His benediction upon me by opening His lotus eyes. He can uplift the entire cosmic creation and remove our uh, dejection by kindly speaking His directions. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to, I think it is to the bank. We'll skip this one. And a letter to Dayananda, February 8th, 1971, Calcutta. So, can request any other devotee to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. May I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare
My
Krishna.
dear,
Sorry.
okay, Mataji, you can read, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Varangi Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Did Prabhu call me? I wasn't here. That's why. No, you have go to Mataji. Just I'm
My dear,
asking.
okay, my dear Dayananda, please accept my blessings. I am very much pleased to receive your letter dated 27th January 1971. I have been thinking of you and not having heard anything from you in such a long time. So I am very much pleased with your letter. Recently, Nandarani wrote me a letter and I have replied that. I understand that both Nandarani and yourself are advancing in Krishna consciousness, and that is a great solace, solace for me. We require many boys and girls like you to spread this movement. Please do it carefully and help others to become Krishna conscious. I am sure that Karandhara and your good self, assisted by the others, are doing well in that center. I shall soon be returning and shall be glad to see how things have improved much during my absence. Also, I am very pleased to know that the deity thrones are now in hand. I have already dispatched big deities like the ones in London, given by Mr. Birla. I hope by this time you might have received shipping documents, and on receipt of this you do the needful. As soon as the deities are received, you should prepare very nice gorgeous sets of clothes for the deity. Now the most important point is to recruit life members, as many as possible. Please let me know how many you have made. The money received of the life membership fees should be divided into two: 50% for building fund and 50% for my book fund. By distributing of our books and literatures through this program of life membership, our institution can become greater and greater all over the world. Please offer my blessings of the others there. Hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever wisher,
Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, wanted to highlight?
So, takeaway point is Prabhupada was to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. He's asking that Dayananda and that Karandara also that you are good for spread the Krishna consciousness movement. So then he said that do the very carefully to help others to become Krishna conscious. So try to spread the Krishna consciousness movement, and that Prabhupada is mentioning about the deity's throne is in hand now, and then he's dispatching the deities in London, which we have that by Mr. Billa, given by Mr. Billa, but when you receive that, you prepare the nice gorgeous clothes for deities and do the needful, he said. And the other part is he loves to, Prabhupada wants to be that people to become life members so that get the fund, and he was to spread the 50-50% for the building and then for the distribution, the book distribution. So book fund. So now when we see that Prabhupada's mission is fulfilling spreading the books all over the world, and we can get that big institution. So that is the take of Prabhu. So try to distribute the books and literatures from Prabhupada's book. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other comments? Dear devotees, Asha Mataji, you want to add any more comments?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Saranya Mataji, you want to add any more comments? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, so here Prabhupada is mentioning to encourage themselves, Nandarani and the Dayananda. So first of all, when we try to help others to become Krishna conscious, then we become more advanced. So please do it carefully and help others to become Krishna conscious. Okay, so that is one point. When you give knowledge, generally, if I give money to some other people, materialistic people, what happens? We give it away, and then we will left with zero. If I have got 100 pounds, if I give it 100 pounds, few people like splitting, and then it will go away, and we left with zero. But in the transcendent knowledge, as much as we give this knowledge, or either service, it will keep on coming to our back, accumulating so much of transcendental wealth. Okay, that is the beauty of it. So, and also if we try to help others in Krishna consciousness, we will become more advanced. Like Prabhupada is mentioning here. And also the deities, so deities needs to be gorgeously decorated, and then when worship the Lord, we should prepare very nice gorgeous sets of clothes for the deity. And we see in the everyday morning, all the deities in all centers, every deity is gorgeously, nicely decorated and offering the different lamps. So one is the camphor, another one is the ghee lamps, another one is one ghee lamp, five ghee lamps, three ghee lamps, and sometimes it's maybe 100 ghee lamps also, so in some other temples. Okay, so likewise, ghee lamps and then flower offering, and then later on the chamaras. So likewise, one has to worship the Lord gorgeously. Okay, and then just with another thing is the distribution of the funds as appropriate. Prabhupada is mentioning building fund and then book fund. They need to continue in a longer period. Okay, that is from the Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we don't have special programs apart from Japa session at 6:30 p.m. Okay, that is our upcoming event. And the devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything, kindly share. Okay, if there are no updates, then we shall move on to the next part. It is the Ramayana. Okay, so in the Ramayana, so we have been discussing Lord Ramchandra's pastimes. Ramchandra and Sita Devi. So this Ravanasura, so the demon, he is trying to take Sita away, kidnap Sita away, kidnapping of Sita Devi. So it was a bit horrible time for Sita Devi. And then Sita Devi was trying to, she doesn't, but Jatayu, he was trying to fight with Ravanasura. And also when the Ravanasura taking Sita Devi on his chariot, Mool's chariot flying in the sky. So at the time Jatayu came and then interrupted him. First of all, he gave good instructions, but he did not listen on the morality, codes of morality. He did not listen. And then he also mentions that once if Rama comes, then you would not stay. That is Bheda, Sama. There is no dana there. Sama, Dhana, Bheda, Dandopayas, the four of them, to bring the enemy into one's control, to make other person to follow the right instructions. But the first instruction he did not follow. Second, Dana, and Ravanasara is not a person to receive anything from Jatayu. Third one is Bheda. If Rama comes here, then he will destroy you. But he did not care for that one also. Now Danda, he is trying to attack Ravanasara. Okay, somewhere or other he is trying to damage his chariot and then scratch it with his claws onto body of Ravanasara. And later on, Ravanasara, there were he somewhere or other he damaged that chariot. It fall down on the ground, and later on, Ravanasara caught Sita Devi from the chariot so that Sita Mata should not get disturbed. And later on the ground, Jatayu fought with Ravanasara, and then Ravanasara with his sword, he just chopped off one wing of the Jatayu. And then Jatayu was fell in the blood, and then later on Sita Devi looking at then went to the Jatayu trying to just pat and then just feeling so much of compassionate for Jatayu. And later on Ravanasara is trying and Sita Mata was running and then holding a tree. And then but still Ravanasara does not leave her. So he just again taking Sita Devi back. So this is how the things are going on. Sita cried bitterly from the sky. Ravana saw that his adversary was overcome. He descended swiftly and went towards Sita. She ran away and embraced a tree, crying out, "O tree, hold me! Trees, hold me!" But Ravanasara grabbed her forcibly by the hair. In the grip of his own destiny, he dragged Sita away as she cried out, "Rama, Rama," again and again. Pulling her in onto his lap, Ravanas rose up into the sky. So at the time, so some situation was described. that wind stopped blowing and sun appeared lusterless and dull. The whole creation seemed out of order and dense darkness enveloped the four quarters. Brahma saw by his divine vision that Sita had been seized violently by Ravana, and he said to the gods, "Our purpose is accomplished. Our purpose is accomplished." So this is when any person is interrupting any woman unnecessarily, violating the code of Vedic injunctions, then he will be ruined by his own actions. Now, Ravanasura came and touched the fire. Soon he is going to burn into the ashes. Otherwise, demigods and many people cannot fight with Ravanasura before. Now, Ravanasura came he himself to Sita Devi and then touching the fire. So now it is Brahma is saying that our purpose is accomplished. But though here Sita Devi is going through so much of pain. Again, Lord says, Kapil Bhagavan described that the form of the woman, it is the Lord's external energy. One should not be bewildered by looking at the beauty or the form of a woman. Pasimi balam pasimi mayaya stri maya jaino disham. And she, by the what woman does, by her movement of eyebrows, she can make the man into grips of her hands. Bhruvijrumbena kurvanti padakrantan Bhruvijrumbena kevalam. Okay, that power of woman powers is different. She's compared like a fire, and man is compared like a butter. If butter goes nearer to the fire, he will melt. But here, Ravanasura, he is so much lusty person. Now, but here Sita Mata still fire. So now Brahma is mentioning our purpose is accomplished. Soon, Ravanasura is going to be died along with his followers. So now the great sages in the forest also saw Sita being taken. The great sages in the forest also saw Sita being taken. Knowing Ravana's destruction to be imminent, they felt simultaneously organized and joyful. Okay, so now we have read up to that point. We shall continue for the reading of this one. I think we have also covered these parts, and also the forest deities, they wept and their limbs trembled with fear. But anyway, we shall go from here. Can I request Asha Mataji to read these first two paragraphs, please?
Ravana, Ravana held Sita tightly and flew toward Lanka. With her body shining like a molten gold and adorned with jeweled ornaments, Sita looked like lightning against a black cloud. Ravana appeared like a dark mountain illuminated by a fire as he traveled with haste toward his city. Haste toward his city. Sita's face pressed against Ravana resembled the full moon splitting a cloud. She burst into tears again and again and called out for Rama. Lotus petals fell in showers from her crushed garland. A bejeweled golden anklet dropped from her foot like a circular flash of lightning. Her necklace of pearls fell from her breast, appearing like a Ganges descending from the heavens. Soared over the treetops, the leaf shook violently, seeming to say to Sita, "Don't be afraid." Forest ponds, with their faded lotuses and frightening fishes, appeared sorry for the princess. Lions and tigers, along with birds and other beasts, angrily rushed behind, following Ravana's shadow. The mountains, their faces bathed in tears in the form of rivullets, rivulet, and with arms upraised in the form of peaks, seems to scream as the wind from Ravana's passage rushed over them. Seeing Sita held in the grasp of the 10-headed monster, the forest deities wept and their limbs trembled with fear. Hare Krishna Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so again, this is a description of how Sita Mata was being going through a very stressful condition, and he is abusing Sita there. And all the demigods, like demigods, they're watching from the sky. But here, from the nature, the mountains, the trees, and then frightened fishes appeared sorry for the princess. Many things, lions and tigers, along with the birds and other beasts, angrily rushed behind, following Ravana's shadow. They're also a bit angry. Lions and tigers, along with birds and other beasts, angrily rushed behind, following Ravana's shadow. Okay, and mountains, their faces bathed in tears in the form of rivulets and with arms upraised in the form of peaks, seemed to scream as the wind from Ravana's passage rushed over them. It is again describing the beauty of nature according to the circumstances. According to the circumstances. Seeing Sita held in the grasp of 10-headed monster, the forest deities wept and their limbs trembled with fear. Okay, so this is situation. Again describing even the Sita Mata's her necklace of pearls fell from her breast, appearing like the Ganges descending from the heavens. Okay, let us see further. What else? Can I request Gauringi Mataji to read the next page, please? These 3 paragraphs.
Okay, Prabhuji. Sita, her face Prabhuji, sir?
It's pale.
Pale. Sita, her face pale and her eyes reddened, chastised Ravana. Have you no shame at all? Resorting only to stealth and trickery. You have stolen away the chaste wife of another. O coward! You have killed the old and helpless Jatayu, and now you flee in fear from Rama. You are proud of your valor, but people throughout the world will scorn and uh, deride you. O vile demon! Sita struggled in Ravana's grave. She preferred to fall to earth and die than be carried away by him. She censored Ravana continuously, uh, goading him to turn and fight with Rama and Lakshman. And the tearful princess told him that even if he carried her to Lanka, she would soon die, being unable to see Rama. Ravana, ignoring her slap words, continues to bear her away through the scales. As they flew, Sita looked down and caught sight of a group of large monkeys sitting on a mountain peak. She pulled off her silken head covering and quickly bound up her golden bracelets and other shining jewels, dropping the bundle as Ravana flew over the monkeys. Sita hoped they would meet Ram and show him the jewels. He could then know which direction Ravana had taken her. The Rakshasa king did not notice Sita's clothes falling to earth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So when Ravanasura is taking Sita Devi, her face is pale and her eyes red and chastised, and she is chastised Ravana. And then, so sometimes when the woman is trying to chastise a man, m- a man who, when he is in the lusty mood, then he does not care any kind of words like that. Whenever he is angry, then he would do in a different way. But here, Sita Mata was he is bit lusty mood. So, and then Sita Mata is mentioning, like, have you no shame at all, restoring only to stealth and trickery? You have stolen away the chaste wife of another. O coward, you have killed the old and helpless Jataya, and now you flee in fear from Rama. You are proud of your valor, but people throughout the world will scorn and deride you, O vile demon. But Sita struggled in Ravana's grip because otherwise Sita Mata can die herself by falling from the fall onto the earth from the chariot, fall on the earth and then die instead of carrying away by him. So she ensured so much, but goading him to turn and then fight with Ram and Lakshman. If he comes back, then he will die in the hands of Ramchandra. But here, uh, but Ravnasara doesn't care for those. He is ignoring her sharp words, continue to bear her away through the skies. But as they flew, she looked down and caught sight of the group of. Now this group is the Sugriva and also Jambavan and Hanuman. So those are the group of monkeys sitting on the mountain peak. She pulled off her silken head covering and quickly bound up her golden bracelets and other shining jewels, dropping the bundle as Ravana flew over the monkeys. She hoped they would meet Rama and show him the jewels. He would then know which direction Ravana had taken her. The Ravana Rakshasa king did not notice Sita's clothes falling to earth. Okay, so this is once again turning point for Sita Mata's search later on, and also to find Sita Devi. And Ravanasura is going to meet those monkeys in the future. Okay, so we shall move on to read next next page. I can request Usha Mataji to read next page, please.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. The monkeys caught sight of it as it fell. They looked up and saw Ravana speeding past with the beautiful princess held in his arms. The Rakshasa courage through the air like an arrow shot from above. Delighted in mind, he raced towards his own destruction. Crossing over the fearsome ocean, which teemed with sharks and other fierce aquatics, he went in the direction of his celestial city. Even as he flew overhead, the wind died and the ocean waves were stilled out of fear of him. The many siddhas and charanas in the sky who witnessed Ravana's flight with Sita said, "This marks Ravana's end." Soon Ravana arrived in Lanka and entered his palace, going straight to the inner section where he kept his many wives. There he spoke with the Rakshasas who were entrusted with guarding his woman. Take good care that no man looks upon Sita. Give her every item of enjoyment the moment Sita asks gold, gems, pearls, silks, whatever she may desire should be provided. Those who slight or upset her, knowingly or unknowingly, must not hold life dear. Ravana then left and went to his own rooms. He called for 8 of his most uh, powerful generals. After praising them for their strength and valor, he said, armed with various weapons, go at once to the Dandaka. Seek out Ram and observe him closely. Be wary, for Ram has single-handedly destroyed the entire army I had stationed in that forest. Because of that, I feel a rage that burns my inside. They, that rage will only be calmed when Ram lies dead, slain by me. Therefore, you should learn of Rama's strengths and weaknesses. Report this to me, and I shall then do what is required. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, again, this is a turning point in the Ramayana when Ravanasura is taking Sita Mata. So it appears that Ravanasura is taking Sita within his hands. So she could not escape, or she could not fall from Ravanasura's hands as well. He's flying through the skies because his chariot was damaged by Jatayu. So now, whenever the monkeys caught sight of it as it fell, and they looked up and saw Ravana speeding past with a beautiful princess held in his arms. So this is what we say. He's going in a sky as he's without any chariot. He's holding Sita in his arms. Okay, the Rakshasa coursed through the air like an arrow shot from a bow. Okay, in such a way he is going. Delighted in mind, he raced toward his own destruction, crossing over the fearsome ocean. Okay, this ocean contained sharks and fierce aquatics. He went in the direction of his celestial city. Even as he flew overhead, the wind died and the ocean waves were stilled out of fear of him. And then many Siddhas and Charanas in the sky who witnessed Ravana's flight with Sita said, this marks Ravana's end. So one should not treat any woman like that. But Ravana did. He's taking with his hand in his arms. Sita did. And then soon Ravana arrived in Lanka and entered into his palace, going straight to the inner section where he kept his many wives. And Ravanasra, he has got people or princes from different places, like Gandharvas, demigods, and many of those princes. He brought them to Lanka, and then kept in the Lanka. There, he spoke with the Rakshasas who were entrusted with guarding his women. Take good care that no man looks upon Sita. Give her every item of enjoyment the moment she asks. Gold, gems, pearls, silks, whatever she may desire should be provided. Those who slight, those who slight or upset her, knowingly or unknowingly, must not hold life dear. That means he is going to kill them if anyone disturbs Sita Mata and anyone looks. Likewise, he gave those instructions to the Rakshasa who are interested in guarding his women. And then now Ravana then left and then went to his own rooms. Now he has done whatever needs to be done. Sita Mata is back to Sita Mata was got into Lanka. Now he called for 8 of his most powerful generals. This is where the problem starts now. all his happiness will be ruined. He would not sleep anymore further. So Prabhupada once he says, whenever he is giving lectures, like Delhi ka laddu, a person who has tasted the Delhi ka laddu, he wanted to eat again and again. And then persons who have not tasted that Delhi ka laddu, they also are hankering to eat the laddu. Both are going through the anxiety to eat the laddu. Okay, so that is people before, after eating and before eating, but both are in anxiety. Now, Ravanasara, before that, before he got Sita Mata into Lanka, he was burned with to get Sita somewhere or other to kidnap her. That is the point when Surpanaka induced Ravanasara to go and kidnap Sita. Okay. Until that point, Ravanasara was happy. As soon as that information came to Ravanasara, he is no more happy. And he wanted to get Sita Devi to Lanka and then for himself. Now, once he got into it, his happiness is disappeared permanently. His happiness disappeared permanently. So anxiety is about Ramachandra, what Rama is going to do to him, and then arranging some of the powerful generals. After praising them for strength and valor, he said, armed with various weapons, go at once to Dandaka, seek out Rama and observe him closely. Be wary, for Rama has single-handedly destroyed the entire army I have stationed in that forest. Because of that, I feel a rage that burns my insides. So Ravana is very careful and advising them, don't go and fight with Ramachandra. Instead, you simply observe. So the rage will only be calmed when Rama lies dead. This is Ravanasara's intention. Once Rama is died, then Ravanasara can enjoy. Until that point, he rage that burns my inside. His heart always burning. What is going to happen later? Whether Rama is going to come and kill me like that. Therefore, you should learn of Rama's strength and weaknesses, report these to me, and I shall then do what is required. So now he has appointed those generals. Okay, so since that point, Ravanasara has been observing the movements of Rama. That is Ravanasara arrangement. Yes. Okay, I shall read one page and then we shall stop there and then we will reflect on the Ramayana. Ravana gave them detailed instructions, repeatedly extolling them with pleasant words. The powerful Rakshasas then made their bodies invisible and set out toward the Dandaka forest. Ravana, having set up a bitter enmity with Rama, felt secure and rejoiced within himself. And he decided to visit his inner quarters where Sita was lodged. Stricken with love for the dark-eyed princess, he hurried to see her. So this is a lusty Ravanasura. And Ravanasura found Sita bathed in tears and fallen to the floor amid the Rakshasas. The lady demons, Rakshasas. And she resembled a female deer beset by a number of hounds. Even though she was unwilling, Ravana had her forcibly brought as he showed her his palace. It comprised a large number of shining buildings. So now Sita Mata is among those Rakshas. Now again, he is taking Sita Mata, trying to forcibly show his palace. He showed her his palace, but Sita Mata does not want to see it, unwilling. It comprised and then description of the palace. The palace comprised a large number of shining buildings supported by pillars of ivory, gold, and crystal. The palace was astonishing to behold and highly pleasing to the mind. Ravana took Sita up the magnificent central stairway of gold, showing her the vast extent of his home. The walls were set thickly with celestial gems, which threw off a brilliant luster, lightening the whole palace. On each level of Ravana's palace were differently furnished rooms meant to evoke different moods. The palace resounded with delightful music of kettle drums and other instruments. Various scents filled the air. There were fountains and ponds surrounded by flowers of every description. So here, hoping to seduce uh, Sita Devi, Ravana spoke to Sita. I have under my control millions of Rakshasas. 10,000 of them are my personal servants. My city extends for 800 miles and is constructed everywhere with gold and gems. Everything I have, I now give over to you. O lovely princess, you are more dear to me than life. Become my wife and then queen of all the women who are mine. What is the use of remaining attached to Rama, who is deprived of his kingdom, given to austerities, and travels the earth on foot? Okay, so this is how he's trying to seduce Sita Devi by showing his buildings and his opulence, and each palace there are the rooms and the palaces, they have got different modes to set up as well, different modes meant to evoke different modes. But Sita Devi is unwilling, and then still Ravanasara forcibly showing. Okay, so we shall read further more. We got Hemlata Mataji also joined. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Would you like to read the Ramayana from?
Yes, Prabhu. Ravana tried at length to impress Sita. He bragged of his power, telling her how he could conquer even the gods in heaven. Ravana also derided Ram in various ways, saying that he would not be able to reach Lanka even in thought. Indeed, Ravan boasted there was not a being anywhere in the three worlds who would now be able to rescue Sita from Lanka. Therefore, O delightful lady, share with me all these celestial pleasures. Range freely with me in the Pushpak. Cast aside any thought of Ram, whose life is soon to end, for I alone am a husband worthy of you. Sita sat sobbing for some time, not looking at Ravan. He had no desire to speak. She had no desire to speak to him, but seeing the Rakshasa's intents, she composed herself and addressed him reproachfully. O sinful demon, had you dared any hands upon in Ram's presence, you would now be lying prostrate on the battlefield. Give up your vain boasting. Your life has all but ended. Your royal fortune is gone. Gone to Gone is your strength and intelligence. Soon a shower of arrows will rain down upon Lanka, annihilating the Rakshasas' forces. Thank to you, O will Rakshas, this city will soon be filled with weeping widows. Sita spoke furiously to Raman. How could he even dare to suggest that she abandon Ram for him? He was like a crow trying to steal a sacrificial offering from amid an assembly of Brahmins. His mind would not for a single moment contemplate a sinful act. It was only with the deep regret that she looked at Ravan at all. Obviously, virtue was entirely unknown to him. He could imprison her to kill or as he liked. She had no use of life without Ram. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so here in this paragraph. Ravana's is tried at length to impress Sita Devi. He bragged of his power, telling her how he could conquer even the gods in heaven. Ravana also derided Rama in various ways. Okay, but he has not faced Rama, but still, from the behind, he is deriding Rama in various ways. He knows Rama's strength. He arranged the generals to observe what are Rama's movements every moment in the Dandakaranya forest. Okay, so mentioning that Rama cannot even reach to Lanka even in that thought. So in such a way, Ravana also broadcasted all his glories. So no one can rescue Sita from Lanka. So in such a way, he is mentioning, therefore, O Sita, O delightful lady, share with me all the celestial pleasures. Range freely with me in the Pushpaka. So here, Ravanasra did not use Pushpaka Vimana during the kidnapping of Sita. Pushpaka Vimana, it has got a quality that it will stretch to accommodate as many people as it needed. So, but still there is, even if million people sit, there is still a place for one person. Okay, likewise it will stretch, but one should not commit any mistakes on top of the Pushpak Vimana, sinful activities. Okay, so that's why he did not use Pushpaka for kidnapping. He used a different one with the moles, something like that. But that Vimana also, that chariot was also destroyed by Jatayu. He just took Sita Devi within his arms and he flew through the sky to come to Lanka. Now, in such a way, he is describing to Sita Devi. Now, cast aside any thought of Rama, whose life is soon to end, for I alone am a husband worthy of you. Now, Sita sat sobbing for some time, not looking at Ravana. She had no desire to speak to him, but seeing Rakshasa's insistence, she composed herself and addressed him reproachfully. O sinful demon, you had dared lay hands upon me in Rama's presence. You would now be lying prostrate on the battlefield. Give up your vain boasting. Your life has all but ended. Your royal fortune is gone. Gone too is your strength and intelligence. Soon a shower of arrows will rain down upon Lanka, annihilating the Rakshasa forces. Thanks to you, O wily Rakshasa. The city will soon be filled with weeping widows. Sita Mata is speaking in a sad sobbing and then crying and then telling him, but Sita spoke furiously to Ravana. How could he even dare to suggest that she abandon Rama for him? He was like a crow trying to steal a sacrificial offering from amid an assembly of Brahmins. Her mind would not, for a single moment, contemplate a sinful act. It was only with a deep regret that she looked at Ravana at all. Obviously, virtue was entirely unknown to him. He could imprison her or kill her as he liked, for she had no use of life without Rama. Okay, so likewise, Sita Mata is still furious towards Ravanasara and then reproaching him and trying to chastise him. But here, because Ravana is struck with lust, so he would not take Sita Devi's words serious. Okay, in such a way, let me just finish that one. Hearing Sita's stinging words, Ravana's bodily hair stood on end. He spoke threateningly, O most beautiful lady, hear my warning. If you do not yield to me within 1 year, you shall be killed by my cooks and served to me as my meal. Okay? This is Ravana's warning to Sita Devi, 1 year. And then he will come every day and then remind her, okay, now it is 360 days, 359 days, likewise. and every moment he reminds, now time is being reduced. Now you will be cooked and served to me as my meal, something like that. Okay, we stop there. Okay, this is the how Ravanasara has kidnapped Sita Devi from Rama's hermitage from the Panchavati. Okay, and Rama and Lakshmana, they were they might have returned to the hermitage now by this time. Now by this time, Sita is now Lanka. Okay, so I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything, kind ask questions and kindly share. And I also request Asha Mataji, if you wanted to have some speak to your mother as well. Yeah, yeah, kindly do so.
Hare so, Prabhu, that one actor captured the Sita Mata, Ravana captured that kept her in his palace, or that Sita Mata was in somewhere else. Prabhu.
Yes, so in the initially he brought into the palace where so many of his wives were also kept in the palace, and then some demons were guarding all of his wives.
Mm-hmm.
And Sita was brought to that place. And later on, Ravanasara is taking a tour within his palace. But
Okay.
unwillingly, Sita was just going with Ravana. Ravana had forcibly brought as he showed her his palace.
Okay, so then still Sita Mata can be in the palace or somewhere in that, what is it, some
Yes, so but initially in the palace.
in the palace. Okay.
Initially in the palace. Still, Ravanasara is showing the palace. And then later on, he gives the warning also within 1 year, if you do not agree to me, you will be killed by my cooks and served to me as my meal. Okay, that is one thing. But later on, what Sita Mata wanted to do, and later on, she may be transferred to that Ashokavana later on
Okay.
by her will or something like that. We will come through those. At the moment, she is in the palace.
In the palace. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. So said for Sita Mata how the Ravana took her, and then yes, now that if the Ravana is now dead is soon, so Sita Mata is warning him.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Um,
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I wanted to ask you, is this the same Sri Lanka country Ravana lived, or it was different planet?
the same Lanka, where so we still go to the Lanka there. Previously, it used to call Kanchana Lanka. It is Golden Lanka. Kanchana Lanka. Now they change it to Sri Lanka. Sri is also
Me.
goddess of fortune, Shri. They
Yes.
changed Kanchana Lanka to Sri Lanka.
But it seems it's very small now, this country, as it says it was 800 miles.
Yes, because so during that time, the water was, if we look at the Dwaraka, so I think in the few years it has increased 8 meters high, the water level raised. So it has, whatever the India we are seeing, it is now little bit lesser than the previous days. Water has raised, level has raised, and similar to Lanka as well. And the bridge between Lanka and India also constructed on those days, it would have been bit lesser now. water level increased.
Okay. So the people, those who lived there were all Rakshasas that time, isn't it, Prabhu? So how they became normal people? Uh,
So how they became normal people? It was described, I do not know exactly. So people in the Satya Yuga, they were of around 20 feet, something like that. Later on, gradually the size was 18 feet, and then in Dwapara Yuga, 12 feet. In the Kali Yuga, 6 feet, gradually getting reduced. And also demonic nature. People, instead of the hideous bodies, people are turning into the human forms. Otherwise, there is no safety for demons, because humans are more dangerous than the demons. Though they appear in the human bodies, but their cunning nature is more demonic. So demons, they are now coming in the human forms. So this is what I have heard from some people are giving the pravachanas. But from the scriptural point of view, I have not come across how they have turned it into. But humans, they have reduced the size. But demons are also uh, the fangs, the two teeth, the long teeth coming from the mouth, and they also shrink to small teeth. If we look into some of the people, some two teeth little bit longer.
mm.
So, but we cannot say that one too nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, but that is the nature. According to the time, place, and circumstances, the body is also shrunken, and people appear themselves like normal humans. But actually, nature is demoniac.
Yeah, okay. And one more thing is coming in my mind. Like in Earth planet, we had these four yugas. Was it only for Earth or for all other planets? Because or in other planets there is also same four yugas, starting from Satyuga, the Upper Yuga, Treta Yuga, or is just for the Earth planet this time frame?
So the time frame, it is for the Earth, and also this time is in a different dimension in the higher planetary systems, but it is mainly based on the Earth planet.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Prabhu. It is because Lord had to come on the earth, that's why, or uh, because on the other planets, different demigods are also living. So mm, this time doesn't apply there.
So, for example, Varaha Bhagavan, he has appeared not on the Earth. Varaha Bhagavan appeared from the nostril of Brahma, and then so he was in the sky, and then increasing his body. Even the Varahatoku Nirgad Angushta Parimanakaha, just like a tip of the thumb, Angushta Parimanikaha. And then Kshanad Ganda Silasamaha. In a moment, he has increased his size within the air, growing very gigantic body, Ganda Silasamaha. And then he jumped into Garbhodaka water, and then he lifted the earth planet.
But in Garbhodak water, where is Earth? Earth is down.
Earth is one of the, like, if there is a lake and if there is balls are floating on the lake, likewise the earth is on top of the Garbhodaka ocean.
So we are on Garbhodak ocean.
Yes, we have not got a chance to see Garbhodaka ocean. Now earth is on the Garbhodaka ocean. It is floating on the Garbhodaka ocean. And on top of the earth, it is Bhumandala. Bhumandala has got again 7 oceans and 7 islands. And out of those, middle island is called Jambudvipa, which is surrounded by the salt water. These are not Garbhodaka water. Garbhodaka water is devastating water. It is bottom of it.
Okay.
So like we see here. This is the universe, Garbhodaka ocean here. And from the Garbhodaka ocean, this lotus stem. Within this lotus stem, it is 14 planetary systems exist, and Brahma is sitting on top of lotus, which is on the Satyaloka. All 14 planetary systems, they are just stem of the lotus flower. You can imagine how big this entire 14 planetary systems. And again, Bhumandala is here, the seventh one, Earth, abode of human beings and other mortals. But we can imagine how big Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu would be. And he is in that waters, Garbhodaka waters. So here in further coming to here, I think this one, little bit. So this is the entire Bhumandala. And Bhumandala is surrounded, Bhumandala is divided into 8 islands and 8 oceans. The middle one is called Jambudvipa, surrounded by the blue ocean. This is called salt water. Okay, this is just only Bhumandala. This entire Bhumandala is floating on the Garbhodaka ocean. So this discs, or you can see that in this layer, this Garbhodaka ocean, it is floating on this one. But whenever Varaha Bhagavan, for the, it is just showing for the pictorial perspective, but it is very small. Bhumandala is also very small within the Garbhodaka ocean, because it is Bhumandala is not entirely spread within this universe. It is some part. But whenever Varahadev Bhagavan, he jumped into the Garbhodaka water and lifted this Bhumandala. So that means there must be lots of water, and he jumped like in a big lake. There is a ball is there, and then we jump into the water and then lift that ball. Varaha Bhagavan lifted on his tusks this Bhumandala.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, bro. And this Kachap avatar, Kurma avatar as well. This is also not on Bhumandala, no?
Kurma avatar. Is this Adi Kurma is in the Garbhodaka. Adi Kurma is in the Garbhodaka. Later on, Kurma incarnation as part of the sixth mantra, Chaksha, after end of the sixth mantra, when demigods and demons they are churning the milk ocean. At the time he expands, he come as a Kurma there. So within that oceans. So I think that is what I understand. And then he will become like a pivot for the Mandarachala mountain on top of him. This Mandarachala mountain is kept and then churned the milk ocean. But this is Adi Kurma.
Okay. But Prabhu, sometimes I think why Lord chose to appear in the form of animals, just to integrate them with human life, or what could be the reason?
So Lord appeared like a Varaha, Lord appeared like a Narsimha, appeared like a turtle and also fish. They have got a particular purpose as well. And for example, Varaha Bhagavan, it has got a feature that to smell. Granena prithvyaha padvim vijighran prodapdeshah swaymadbharanga karala gansropi akarala drugbhyam udviksh vipran grunato avishitkam. Granena, by smelling, Granena prithvyaha, the earth. That feature, is now that Bhumandala is now in the water. So he needs to jump into the water and find where the earth is, earth planet is. And then Kureihi, it is described there. Dadarshagam susupsuragdhe yam jivanim swayamabhyadattha. And then he found that Bhumandala within the Garbhodaka ocean, and with his tusks, Damsagrokotya Bhagam Swayatruta Virajate Bhodara Bhuhosa Bhodara. On his tusks he lifted that earth and then kept in its position. Swakurakranta Sarli Upadatta Vitavanim. Swakurakranta. And by touching his feet later on, he made that Bhumandala still to float on the Garbhodaka ocean. It gives very beautiful descriptions of that pastimes here in the 13th chapter here. 13th chapter, 14 here. Yes, appearance of Garbhodaka Vishnu. Sorry, appearance of Varahadeva. Here, Salile. So Salile Sukurakrant Upadatta Vitavanim. And here Maitreya Muni says, the Lord being thus worshipped by all great sages, transcendently touched the earth with his hooves and placed it on the water. Again, he says, Saitam Bhagavan Vurvim Visvaksena Prajapatihi Rasaya Lilaya Unnitam Apsunyasya Yeuharihi. In this matter, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, maintainer of all living entities, raised the earth from within the water, and having placed it afloat on the water, he returned to his own abode. So this is one quality of Varahadeva. So he is smelling that the boat, animal boat, it has got a smelling power. And he has to take birth in there to find that one. Again, whenever people, it is an opportunity for people to glorify the Lord in that one. Again, as part of, as you mentioned, integration between human beings and animals. One should not harm the boars. Okay, that is one. And then also Narasimha, because of those benedictions Ravanasura asked. Again, I don't want. Likewise, he appeared in the Nara Hari, half human, and Hari means lion. Nara means human. Likewise, half human, half lion. And then Matsya Avatara. Matsya also has got, it can float whenever this earth is, there is a devastating water. Again, there should be some kind of pivot to make some object to float. But only fish can go through these waters. At the end of the Chakshusa Manvantara, and then Lord has appeared in the fish incarnation and told him that prepare a big ark and then keep all kinds of grains and some animals, birds of every kind, and put so that, and also the great sages, you save the humanity. When the it's a Vaivashuta Manvantara. So Vaivashuta Manu, once he is ready and created the ark and then kept all of them there, then the fish incarnation, so it using the Vasuki snake as a thread, that one tied to this ark, and then during that time, the fish take this boat full and then float on the ocean and the devastating waters. Otherwise, there is no place for it. It will be sunken by the waves and all those stuff. So in such a way, Lord protected in the fish incarnation. Again, what it means to humans as part of the integration, one should not eat the fish just like a food. We do not, and also fish has got one more feature that by its glands, it will make its children nourish. Again, Lord says to Mahalakshmi that a tortoise, by meditating it lays the eggs on the shore, it goes to the water and meditate on the eggs. In such a way, it will nourish eggs and babies by the meditation. And the fish lays the eggs in the water and it glances with eyes and nourish the children. And the bird lays the eggs and the nest and by sense of touch and it nourishes its babies. Okay, it's a different levels how they nourishes their babies. Mashya Kurma Vihanga. In such a way, the Lord also nourishes all of these living entities by the glance and by the touch when he appears as Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, like that, and also by the glance whenever he creates the universe, Mahavishnu glances on the nature so that it will come into the existence. In different ways, he maintains, he creates, he maintains, like that, nourishes all the living entities. So that is the way Lord takes birth in the Trijik Naga Vijayadeva. It is mentioned like the Bhavyatya Satvena Lokan Vai Loka Bhavanaha Leelavatanato Devatiryak Naradishu Devatiryak Nara Adishu. He appears in the demigods also, like Lord Vamana Deva, as a brother of Indra. He born to Kashyapa and Aditi Mata as a Vamana Deva. And Deva Tijak Naradishu. Tijak is the animal beings like the fish and then Varaha, Narsimha and Kurma like that. This is Tijak Naradishu means human like Rama, Krishna and Vyasadev, Parashurama, Prithu Maharaj. These are all Sektyavesh incarnations and the Lord has personal complete supreme personality of Godhead is Krishna. Krishna is the Bhagavan Swayam. Devataryak Nara Adishu. Not only these things, Adishu means many other, like Hamsa Avatara, Hayagriva Avatara. Hamsa Avatara in the form of a swan, Hayagriva is the form of a horse head. Okay, so many of the incarnations.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
And also it integrates, as you mentioned, integrating with the humans. But everything is, human life is an opportunity to elevate themselves onto the transcendental platform.
Yeah, and these animals, they show like they are great sages, as you said, by glancing, by touching, by just meditating, how they produce children.
Yes.
So, kind of austerity they're doing, no, from far.
Yes, some of the, for example, Atri Maharshi and Ansuya Mata. So they begot the children by the meditation, not by the bodily touch. And Atri Maharshi in the meditation and Ansuya Mata sit in the yogic, and then the power goes from Atri to Ansuya Mata into her womb. Dattatreya will take a birth.
Who were their children, Prabhu?
One is Ansuya Mata gave birth to Dattatreya, one of the incarnations.
Dattatreya, yeah.
And then Soma, the moon god, and then Durvasa Muni, three of them. Those three are Dattatreya is the expansion of Vishnu, and moon is the again moon god, and later on that is the expansion of Lord Brahma, and then Durvasa Muni expansion of Lord Shiva. So that is yogic way of nourishing the children, like Krishna says, like a tortoise meditate on the eggs when it is in the water.
But they were all born from the womb only, no? They did not appear like with their yogic Shakti. Like Vyasadeva also was born because um, who was he? Parashar Muni, who asked his mother to just stay with him for some time.
Satyavati Devi.
Satyavati Devi. Yeah. But they all had to come from the womb only, isn't it, Prabhu?
So
Not.
there, one thing about Vyasadeva, जातः परश्रद्धयोगी सत्यवत् ततः सप्तदशे जातः सत्यवत्यां पराशरात्. That is 17th incarnation of Krishna is Vyasadeva. But as soon as he was born, he grew up immediately at the same time, and then he went to the forest.
Yeah.
And also Kadama Muni and Devhuti, all the children, as soon as he injected the semen into the womb of Devhuti in the 9 forms, 9 beautiful daughters were born on the same day. They have got yogic power again.
Yeah.
And in terms of the taking birth of different living entities, there are 4 levels, like the living entities born from the eggs, or they're called dvijas, like the birds, some of the snakes, some of other animals also lay some of eggs. So these are all dvijas, 2 births. One is the egg, comes from the womb, and then later on another baby comes from the egg. Dvija means second birth, 2 births. That is one kind of animals coming from the eggs. Second one is the living entities born out of the sweat. Living entities born out of sweat, germs and some viruses, something like that. The sweat. And then third one is the living entities born out of the soil, from the earth, like the trees and so many other things. And then living entities born out of the womb of your mother directly, like the human beings and some of the animals. Some of the aquatics, like the whale. Okay, these are the 4 levels that living entities come into existence.
From set which animals come, Prabhu? Not animal, but maybe microbes or bacteria like that.
From the sweat, yes. So that is again Sweraja Udbhitam. It is described what is living entities. Living entities. Let me just entity born from Shvedaja. They are called from sweat. What's the reference? So Skanda Purana and Garuda Purana, their living entities are classified into 4 types or origins of yonis. So one is the Swedaja, born from the sweat or perspiration. Example, insects, worms, mosquitoes, and other tiny organisms. And this is Jaraija, born from the womb, humans, animals. Andaja, born from the eggs, birds, and snakes. Svedja is this, born from the perspiration, sweat or perspiration. Udbija, born from the earth or the seeds, example plants and trees. Okay, it's described from Skanda Purana and also Garuda Purana.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Dvij, Dvij also, Brahman is also called Dvij, na, Prabhu?
Yes,
Or,
Mataji.
so what does it mean for Brahman?
So here, first birth is humans. They take first birth from the mother, from the womb, and second birth by the initiation by the spiritual master. That is the second birth. That's why he is called Dvija. And spiritual master giving the sacred thread, Brahmana initiation. That is a new life for him. He is no more material. He is now Brahmana, Dvija, second birth in the human beings. Dvija is also called bird,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it has come from the mother's womb as egg, again from egg to as a bird or snake, like that.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other questions from the Ramayana? Gauranga Mataji wanted to add anything, Mataji? Okay, if there are no questions, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay, we shall continue this Ramayana next Sunday. It is very beautiful part, but sometimes we are going through how Sita Mata is being tortured by this Ravanasura. We will soon see that how Rama is going to kill Ravanasura. Okay, so we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि
वैष्णववृंदे की जय।
शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
Have a Krishna
Hare
conscious
Krishna.
everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. जय श्री कृष्ण
Yes.
चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण।